So this is my second video on how to use a kneadable eraser, and I hope that I'm going to screw up a little bit less than last time. Once more, I have drawn an eye here, and I would like to put a little bit more white in here where it's just dark and it doesn't need to be dark. And then I would like to put a highlight in and then make the iris a little bit smaller because it's a little bit too big. So I'm going to work with actually 3 different kneadable erasers. They are all the same brand, which is this one. And I have the fresh one here, and I wanted to show you the fresh one because people were asking how they break when they come out of the box. And it kind of has that type of texture, so I break off about this much and start kneading it for a while to make sure that it's nice and pliable. So this would be one of the kneadable erasers that is just fresh out of the box. And then I have another one over here that has more graphite already in it. And then I have a third eraser that has a lot of graphite in it. And they differ in how quickly they pick up additional graphite, and also, of course, how well they keep their tip or side while erasing. This one is definitely the hardest. I need to press down quite a lot to knead it, whereas the first one is still just very, very soft. So I will start with a medium one. And shape, since I have kind of that shape to erase, I'm going to start with a small wedge shape that looks about like that from the side, and this from the other side. And I start to dab in the area. I just turned it because it was already starting to get a little bit dirty. So if I turn this around here, you see that the graphite is now at the tip of the eraser, and that's the part that I want to fold back in so that it won't smudge when I put the eraser back down on the paper. So I knead it in, get about the same shape again, and try to pick some more up. This is a little bit of a challenge because the camera is where my head usually is. You see that quite a bit of it comes out quite nicely, and I had put that graphite down with a 9B, so if you use a soft pencil in order to get graphite really black, you won't have to erase quite as hard to try and get rid of it again, because you don't have to press quite as hard down. So actually what I'm not quite happy with yet is that the eyelashes here don't really look like eyelashes. So I will try to shape a very thin tip and try to bring some more whitish lines in there. And probably finish it up with a 5B. So then usually eyes have a catch light, at least it makes them look better. So for that I'm going to start with a medium eraser as well and start to dab in here with a reasonable tip. It's easier to take off a little bit too much and then draw a little bit more in than to get extremely precise with a kneadable eraser. So now we still have some graphite in there that I don't want. So I like to use a utility knife And I turn it upside down so that I get this little part here to roughen up the paper a little bit. And after the paper is somewhat rougher, I can use my really fresh eraser that is still very sticky, and again form a tip and try to lift the remaining graphite off the paper with that. So again, there is quite a bit of graphite now on the eraser, so I need to fold that in and repeat that a few times. And that, of course, is a little bit too big, so I'm going to take my 5B again, and draw some eyelashes back in there, or reflection. You'll figure that part out. So then on the side here, the iris definitely goes too far to the right, so I'm going to use the really hard eraser because it keeps the shape the best, and start to lift some of the graphite off. Actually, that doesn't work very well, so I'm going to try the medium. And I try to rub a little bit here because I have a little bit more space to deal with. But again, fold in the graphite very often. So those are basically the techniques that I use when using kneadable erasers. I hope that that was helpful and a little bit bigger, easier to see. And that's probably enough. Just going to make this a little bit darker again. Here are the materials that I used. Handsome pure white drawing paper, 80 pounds. The following Graphwood Care & Dash pencils. And the Design Kneaded eraser. If you want to see more of my art, you can go to dietkefowler.com or follow me on Twitter at dietkefowler. Thank you so much.